Okay, without further ado, so Nev, you are led up the gangplank towards the Nymphs Needle. In the time that you've had your conversation with Camilla, Von Ren, and the rest of Talaria, you can see that several of the crew from both ships are currently working on pulling out any particular sails or planks of wood that they can, and are currently working on making a makeshift pulley system in order to transfer them over. You can see, though, some on one of the holes in the ship is Silver assessing the damage to the Nymph's Needle currently.
I'm assuming if Silver is there, is Ganath there?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Perception.
17.
17.
You do see Ganath sort of looking sternly at Silver and just also observing the bits that he's looking at. She looks somewhat almost dismissively at Silver. Like this is something that she is already aware of.
Okay.
Is he physically mansplaining?
You don't know. You're not.
That is a fair question. No, he's right.
Okay.
Can I hear Silver? Is he trying to mansplain Ganath's ship to her?
With a 17, you sort of hear bits and bobs. For the most part, it's kind of 50-50. He's sort of going over the plan of what they're going to be doing with their supplies.
Yeah.
Which, he sort of like mentions like the different parts, but there's some aspects there where it's Ganath is just like, I already know this.
Yeah. Should I describe Ganath?
If you'd like to.
Okay. I feel like since there are people here that don't know what she looks like, or don't know what a lot of these people look like.
Well, it's good for the recording too.
Yeah. Ganath is a very, very skinny woman with kind of, oh my god, Tormund. Tormund! It's not the end of the world. Hi. Sorry. She is a very, very skinny woman with like kind of yellowy green skin. Her ears are like these jagged points, and her limbs look just like a little bit too long. It's a little uncanny valley. And she's got this like pressed back nose. Anyone that sees her, I'm not sure how familiar people are with Gith in this world, but she is most definitely a Gith. She's got these big, blocky, like diamond-shaped freckles that line her cheek and nose. She has this very, very shaggy, like blunt pixie cut of brown hair. And she's just, it looks like her face is in this constant sneer as she looks at Silver. Her eyes are like this kind of gray, stormy blue. Yeah.
And as you just... You about to say something there, Brad?
Nothing.
Okay. As you're about to lose sight of him, you just sort of see that sort of Silver finishes explanation. You do see, like, even though she still has that look of, I know. She does nod in agreement,
Mm-hmm.
showing that she, was at least not disregarding what was being said.
Yeah.
But Camilla brings you up to the deck of the Needle.
Mm-hmm.
Several of the crew do sort of like stop as they notice you,
Yeah.
and they just sort of start whispering. Camilla gives them a look, and while they continue whispering, they do get back to work.
Can I hear their thoughts?
You probably would be able to, yeah.
All right.
A
What can I
lot,
parse?
a lot of the nymphs sort of. How well aware would they be of like you being able to read their thoughts? Is a question, I guess.
Up until the campaign, I guess. The nymphs were the only ones that knew about Mev and her ability, though Mev has not had people bleed through in a long time.
So a lot of the more like regular but not specialist crew have sort of taught themselves to keep their mind quiet, but there are a few newer ones that you can sort of see. You do hear them bleed through slightly. You get the feeling that they've probably been like taught the mental discipline for reasons why, and you sort of hear it on a few of the things. So like, is that the captain's daughter? That's Mevalre, isn't it? A lot of people saying she was dead.
Yeah. Okay.
And as they sort of, does your like expression change at all when you're hearing these?
Mev, I would say Mev's expression does not change. She's very trained to ignore that stuff.
Okay. You do see some of the more regular crew sort of like usher the lesser experienced ones away.
Mm-hmm.
Camille just sort of like stands there for a second before it just goes, right, well. So it looks over to you. Shall we head to the captain's quarters for a little bit while so like beckons to the flurry of movement with the supplies while they clean up?
I want to insight. Am I about to go to the captain's quarters to be scolded?
Okay.
17 again. Holy shit.
Seems like there's genuine concern given all that's going on.
Mev like scans everyone working, and while she wants to help, her presence is actually probably much more distracting than it is helpful right now. So she very slowly nods.
All right. You heading ahead. I just need to make the crew aware of the news and tell them to get their act in line. He just quickly starts heading to a few of the crew and just starts so like pulling close and just whispering in their ear before heading to the next one.
She watches that for a second, and she starts to make a comment to Valkyr, but the thought never finishes because there's no one there to answer right now. And she goes to the captain's quarters.
All right. So you head inside. You can sort of tell that it had sustained damages during the battle that it was in. Several of the chairs are sort of just piled in pieces in a corner.
Yeah.
Some of the cutlery and such is not on any of the dressers or the table or anything. There's just a wooden plank at part of the window.
Yeah.
But you just kind of stand there and wait.
Is any of my stuff still in here?
Not visibly.
Okay. Yeah, I will just lean up against a wall and wait.
All right. You don't have to wait long. It's only about 2 or 3 more minutes after you step in that the door opens and is quickly closed as Camilla steps in. Just right. Looks at you either. Well, don't just stand there. Sit down.
Okay. She goes to find a not busted up chair.
Yeah, but there's a handful of them
sits.
still, thankfully. She sort of goes to one of the dressers, sort of like rummages around it, and then just sits down in the chair directly behind her, facing you. Just places down a notebook. It's one that she doesn't use a lot of the time. It's recognizable because of its cover made of white dragon leather.
Oh, okay.
And oftentimes this is a book for very important things.
Yeah.
So like rests a hand over the book. How have you been, Mev?
There's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows.
I can imagine. She like taps the book. And I assume during your adventure you had met people, yes?
Lots of people.
I'd like to hear your adventure. And I'd like to know the names of people who helped you and hindered you.
So you can take care of them?
If I feel that how they've wronged you is egregious enough, maybe.
I don't need you to do that.
Sort of leans back a little bit. I said if I feel it's necessary. For all you know, I might say that the people that have wronged you are a bunch of assholes and leave it at that. The fact that you still stand here, whole and whole of mind as well, leads me to believe that you might have a lot of people in that. If anything, it just means if I ever meet them, then I know how to treat them.
Mev takes a deep breath. She looks at the book. I am guessing whatever names I give are going in that book. And that can be a very, very good thing and a very, very bad thing. Mev will begin to tell her mother about her journey. Starting from that winter day in Port Honor where she left, how she met the Rabbit Hounds, how she was cast away with Havelock, and everyone that she has met and everything that she has experienced up to now. And she gives everyone's names except for a Cris Aventore.
Okay, so you mentioned everything, all the people, like Alara, Olivia, Fur, Kurz.
Yeah, everything. I tell her about the mage Olivia. I tell her about Fur and Kurz, though I don't say that Kurz is a dragon. And I tell her about the spider's eye and the possible target that we have.
Okay. So in regards to not mentioning a Kreesk,
Mm-hmm.
do you mention at least your relationship, or do you just omit that completely?
She she will talk about that relationship.
Okay. So you talk about that and essentially the backstabbing. Do you mention Fur's backstabbing as well?
She will mention Fur's backstabbing and the deal that they made.
Okay. As you spend what has to be at least an hour minimum, but it's probably longer as you tell the story. Surprisingly, she doesn't write much in the book. The occasions that you do see her write is when you mention the Rabbit Hounds, when you mention Olivia and the Spider's Eye, when you mention the Druids. And though she doesn't initially write anything to begin with, when you mention of Aki and Fur's backstabbing, she does write. Well, she writes Fur and Kur's name in, but Aki, you can sort of see, just mentions the. Do you just say it's just a person, or do you say at least like a half orc?
She does not give those details.
She just puts down as a person. Though when you do mention like the deal that you'd made with Fur and Kur, she does look back at the name again. Keeps it in there, but she does do a double take.
Mm-hmm.
And as you sort of finish the story, you do see she puts one final name in, Von Ren.
Is Havelock in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, you actually see like at the end of it, she goes back to right near the front of the book, And even though it's upside down, you can read, like, at the very top, it has Cabrigan's name, and then below it has Cabrigan's son, crosses it out, writes down Havelock. Closes the book and just sort of leans back. A fine little adventure you've had for yourself.
As I said, highs and lows.
Very much so. Handful of names I'll have to keep an eye out, either to thank them or to keep an eye on, so to speak. I'm not about to be your judge, jury, and executioner unless they particularly wronged you. But the ones that do, looks like they've either left or you've given them an option to sort themselves out. After all, one who tells your secrets must choose their next actions wisely. And those that break your heart should never be that close again. Those two sound like they've done rather terrible things in their own way. One fled, and the other at least has the guts to try. Whether that works or not, well, that's down to them.
Mev is very quiet as Camilla talks.
Though the deal part interests me.
What about it?
I assume you explained the visions that you were having.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's just interesting that you have a vision of where you think your parents are. God knows we've been trying. I don't mean anything offensive about it. If you wish to find your real mother, I won't stop you. It's just interesting that it came to you in a vision. You know me, not very superstitious.
Mama, I know I left, but you're still my mom.
Like, reaches over and just sort of like, you know, holds one of your hands. I know. And I don't expect it to really change. No offense to your biological mother, but she wasn't the one to look after you since you're a child. No fault of her own, I would hope. Otherwise, I may need to add another name. I'm aware of what this could mean. But as much as it pains me to say, I'm proud of everything that you've done, Mev.
She looks at Camilla just surprised. You're proud?
Don't get me wrong, I am still beyond furious about what you did that night in Port Honor. leaving me to spend weeks and months searching for you up and down Karmora, having to ask around in case any slavers might have gotten a hold of you, asking my leads if the Zamahan guard took you. It infuriates me that you vanished like that, but then you come back with a crazy adventure from the northern part of Karmora, brushing shoulders with an archmage of a city, making your way through the Morag. How can I be anything but proud?
I just thought I've messed up a lot. I invited people in that I shouldn't have trusted. I've let my emotions get the better of me repeatedly. And she bites her cheek. And on multiple occasions, I have been a burden.
You feel her grip on your hand tighten a bit. Her gaze sort of like goes from this soft smile to a bit more steely. And that is expected of anyone. Ask any captain if they've messed up, if they've seemed like a burden. Every single one of them will tell you yes. If any of them tell you no, they either are very new to the job or they are lying. I have messed up. People have died under my command because I have made choices and I have made mistakes. So, like, in the case of the damage, this most recent one, an example. But that is why I have trained you the way that I have. Not so that you'll be perfect and never make a mistake, and that you'll find people that can be trusted all the time. No, no, no. I trained you so you could handle it. So that you can make it through that. And the fact that you have found this ragtag group of adventurers, even if one of them is the son of my most hated enemy, the fact that you are here, you are alive, and any injuries that you have suffered have not hindered you. It shows that you have grown. Not in height at the very least.
Mev was sitting there very, very serious as her mother spoke, and that seems to have broken her a little bit. I why are you making a joke at the time like this?
Because oftentimes I find in high stress environments, a joke is a good way to cut the tension.
She gets up and she is going to give Camilla like a very tight hug.
Alright, she returns the hug equally.
We've missed you so much.
And are you?
I'm still so sorry.
Sort of just continues like holding the hug for a couple of minutes before she just gently, just pulls you away and sort of indicates for you to sit again.
She will take a seat.
She sort of sits down as well. You can see, like, he just wipes away some tears. There will at some point have to be a bit of a punishment for you abandoning the crew like you did, but there's more important things at hand at the moment. So for now, I'm simply just going to take the spare canvas in your room. I assume, given you have the brooch, that you've been there. And I'm simply going to take away your drawing privilege for a week or so, until there's a more suitable punishment.
Mev, Mev looks so. There's a mix of amusement and being completely bewildered and a little offended because that is some shit. The girl just went on this crazy journey. She's 18 years old and like a fucking like 8-year-old, she is getting her crayons taken away. There is something just so distinctly befuddling and hilarious about that. To the point where she can't even be entirely mad. It's just kind of like, fuck, okay.
In all seriousness, there will have to be something returned in exchange for you leaving, but I feel for now a slap on the wrist will suffice until we get this more urgent thing in order.
Right, of course. This isn't going to end with a couple acrylics.
No. Well, so looks down at the book again. I don't know. You've been through a lot. So I have to weigh that up as well.
She actually like looks through her bag for a minute. She takes out the big fucking wine bottle that she got in Lenarch. She sets it on the table.
Just see a grin start to appear. She sort of reaches over and grabs it and looks at it.
I was asked to give this to you.
Didn't think the bastard would actually pay up if I won, but here we are.
You want to take a drink? I can get a cup. I can pour it.
It's been traveling with you for 9 months. What's a little bit more time? We'll include it as part of the celebration for outdoing Johan.
Oh my god. It looks like Mav does not like that answer because she was gonna use the fucking drink.
Camilla's gonna insight,
she
yeah.
nods. Oh man, fuck. 4. All right. What'd she roll?
She rolled a dirty 20.
Fuck. Mev looks like she had ulterior motives for that, and now it's been fucking blasted.
So it looks at the bowl again. What were you planning, Mevalre?
Just, I, sometimes a drink, makes a tough conversation easier.
And you want to use the bottle on that? You don't want me to simply pull from my own stash?
It was a convenient excuse.
Just quickly pulls out a dagger and just sort of like pops off the cork.
She fucking uncorks it again. You don't even know what I wanted to talk to you about.
Just places the drinks. Well, you've told me your 9-month story, and considering what you've came with, I have a few ideas. Just starts pouring them into 2 glasses. Just finishes it, pops the cork back on, and slides one of the drinks over to you. Picks up the other and just sort of holds it in the palm of her hand while looking at you.
No, picks up the drink. Want to take a gamble?
I'd like to know what's at stake before I decide.
Just take a guess what that's about.
Havelock, am I right?
Didn't even give her a chance to finish. Bev fucking bites her cheek. Congrats, you won. This becomes so awkward around her mother. I do want to discuss Havelock.
She pulls out the ball game, places it on the table, just in case. Go on then.
There is a good minute of just the longest silence. Mev takes her drink and knocks it back. This is wine, so you are not supposed to drink it this way. But it looks like Mev needs some fucking help right now. And she pours herself another drink, and she says, Havelock isn't who you think he is.
Really
I mean,
now?
He's Havelock is a Procero. Yes. He's a ruby. He's wild and uncontrollable, and a lot of the time I have to rein him in. But this is incredibly hard. He said I can tell you, but I've never told anyone. Havelock. Let me tell you first how exactly Havelock and I met. What happened that night that made me leave.
Raise the glass to indicate you to continue.
I told you that I met Havelock. I met Havelock after the festivities ended, after the nymphs went to bed. He was in the tavern and he started a bar fight with another patron, some fucking no-name rube, probably a local that neither of us knew. He got into this fight and I got involved. I didn't. Okay, I knew who he was to an extent, but I mean, who am I going to back up? A fucking pirate or some asshole from Port Honor? Come on. I helped him knock the bastard out. We technically got kicked out of the bar because we were starting shit. And we spent the night kind of running around the city, causing trouble, being teenagers. We had a good night. A really good night. I had sex with Havelock.
You see it just take a big gulp of the wine at that.
And that's actually a pretty important detail. Havelock. I found out that night that Havelock is a woman.
Bullshit.
She shakes her head. Cadwigan Prothero's son is his daughter. Havelock, you of all people know how women are perceived on ships. Cadwigan didn't believe that a woman should be on a ship, and there are like tears forming in Mev's eyes. She's very shaky. He mutilated Havelock.
You hear the sound of like glass cracking. You can just sort of see at this point, like the hand that's holding the wine glass, her knuckles are white, and you can see a visible crack on part of the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Her expression, though, is unchanged.
I found that out that night with Havelock. And I don't know, we had such an amazing time together, and I felt so much for him. And Havelock was all alone.
I'll just drinks the last of the wine, place it down, just sort of rubs the side of her head. Just when I thought I couldn't hate that bastard any more than I did. Let me make something very clear to you there, Mevalre. This revelation hardly changes anything between me and Havelock. Gods, what do they prefer to be known as?
Havelock doesn't really, feel comfortable being addressed as a woman.
He is still the son of Cadwagan, and he has spent his life on Cadwagan's ship. I will give it to him that he is probably very pissed given what that surgeon would have done to him. But as you say, he's uncontrollable. He has issues with authority.
It's not entirely true. Havelock, he needs to be guided more than most people, but he listens to me. And wouldn't you have problems with authority of if the only person that ever guided you, ever had any power over you,
That is why
that fucking monster?
That is why I say it changes things a little. Not by much.
I think it should change things a lot.
It doesn't change my trust in him. But I can sympathize on why he acts the way that he does. It answers a lot of questions, honestly. But at the end of the day, he wants to become a code follower. He wants to redeem himself, become one of us. That requires him to shed those problems. He can answer back to authority. We're not saying that we're a dictatorship, but he can't completely disregard it. I appreciate that this is the case of repairing some very, very old wounds, but he'll need to do it for his own sake. I sympathize with him. Really, I do. And in a way, I'm hoping that he's bullshitting about saying that he killed Cadwagan. Because now I would hunt him down if I could. Not because of what he did to Havelock, but what he did to a woman. How dare he? How dare he do that to Havelock? Just sort of takes another, just like pours another drink and just downs it as well. Places the glass down where where the crack finally gives out and the glass just breaks.
Yeah.
The other part as well is what you just said there. He listens to you. Well, unless you're going to have him by a leash, that wouldn't be good enough. This is what I mean. You and Iridan raise good points about the fact that he's here, he's trying. And I'm not expecting an overnight improvement. But if the best that can be offered is he needs to be by your side like a lost puppy in order to behave himself, then we're going to have problems, not just with me, but with the rest of the crow's nest. He would not be able to contribute to any ship or any of our work if he has to just always be attached by the hip. And that's not fair on you either.
Mev looks at Camilla. You say that like he wouldn't have a place on my ship.
If that is your choice, then that is your choice. If that is fine with you, then as much as I hate to say it, very well. I don't control your life, I simply guide you in what I think is best. But I'm not going to shackle you down. Maybe your little adventure was proof of that. It's for the best.
I just don't. That's the thing, Mama. You taught me this. Mev looks like she's trying to figure out how to quite explain it. There are so many women on the Needle that have come from terrible, terrible circumstance. So many that are trying to find a place to get back some semblance of their lives. And Havelock is exactly the kind of person that you have always taught me to give a chance to save. And now, because of who he was associated with, it sounds a little bit like you're saying he can't.
She sort of like grabs another glass and pours another drink in the bowl. Doesn't drink it, just holds it. I don't think I've seen a single one of Cadwin's crew ever make it as a code follower. Maybe I'm just assuming what he does to them makes him a lost cause.
If that's the case, I think, as much as I always respect your judgment, you your feelings are clouding it. And maybe you could argue the same for me.
I don't think in this conversation any of us would come out the victor.
Mev smiles a little. Feels like even that is a small victory for her. Camilla's not one to just give up in an argument.
If that's the case, then how about a little gamble?
What's your wager?
Well, before I fully decide, I suppose I should ask the question. You said that you loved him, yes?
Mev, she inhales sharply, like she's that makes her nervous. Camilla knows Mev has spent so much time just fucking with people, gallivanting around with it. She's a very, very promiscuous person, and at no fucking point until like literally in the last couple of hours has Camilla ever heard Mev say that she like actually romantically loves someone. Mev takes a deep breath. Like this is something that's hard for her to even fucking repeat. And she says, I'm sure he's going to lord it over me, but yes, I do.
Then here is what I will wager. If you prove me wrong and show me that my distrust and hatred of Havelock is purely, simply, entirely based on Cadwigan, that he reforms, becomes a code follower, even if it means attached to your waist, then I'll give you my blessings.
If I'm wrong.
If I'm wrong, then he simply continues as a free pirate.
Which means that you get to punish him.
Not necessarily. Depending on how well he's done, I might simply settle for him not being allowed at Mevalre.
Okay.
And to be extra generous, there won't really be a time limit on it. Though.
You don't think there should be?
As you say, many on the Needle are trying to resemble or get back some form of normality. Can't imagine what he went through there to make him like this. So the time limit will simply be either when you come for me for the blessings, or if Havelock particularly fucks up.
I'd like to add a stipulation to that.
Go on.
You say that in the case of Havelock's success, you'll give a blessing. In the case of Havelock's failure, to ensure a completely unbiased decision, you have to get all of the crow's nest to agree that it was a fuck up.
Fair enough. Havelock's actions will decide. Well, will help the crow's nest decide.
Bev looks pleased with that. Like, this is the best that she's gonna fucking get. She takes a drink.
Just like a bit of a tense silence. Before, like, Camille looks at the ball again. It's like, should probably save some of this for the others.
I'm sure they're already mad at me. I don't need them being even more annoyed that we didn't share.
Technically, it's my bottle. So, if they have an issue with it, they can approach me on that one. Let's place the bottle down.
Stingy.
Still, I can at least come with a victory that I proved that bastard wrong.
Mev, is just quietly nursing her drink for a minute. Like, it's a case of letting like the tension ease, because God, this was a rough conversation.
Mm-hmm. Camille just casually is also sipping her drink. Seems mostly unfazed at all.
Of course she's unfazed.
You'll be happy to know that the regulars are still around.
Mev raises a brow. Where else would they be?
Well, some of our
Unless
irregular...
they took after me.
Some of the irregular crew decided to settle down. Others found work in a few ships that were willing to take them. But the big ones you and I know are still here.
I really don't know how I'm going to talk to everyone.
Do what I do. Wander around the ship, bump into them.
You didn't do what I did. She looks at her hand towards like the little the end point of her tattoo. She looks back at Camilla. As it stands right now, I'm a deserter.
Officially, yes. Unofficially, no.
Really going by technicalities there, Mama.
Well, the others don't know won't hurt them. Especially something as harmless as this.
And still the nymphs don't know.
Well, if they do know, they're going to shut up about it if they know what's good for them. Don't worry about the regular crew. I'll make sure they stay in line.
Mev. I think she just kind of nurses her drink until Camilla either says something else or dismisses her because she's not quite sure if this conversation is over.
Camille just sits in silence, just casually sipping on a drink until she finishes it and places it down. For what it's worth, you've dealt with the toughest person to speak to now. Of course, the call is yours if you wish to speak with any of the crew. I'm sure you'll find them. She stands up. Your room was damaged in the fight, but it has been repaired. Your stuff is currently in a chest for safekeeping. If you want me to take them out, then I can.
You repaired my room when I wasn't even here.
I looked after your room at home and you weren't even there. What of it?
Looks like Mev doesn't have entirely a lot to say to that. Like, it's very sweet, but also Mev feels so fucking bad. She will, however, say, actually, that reminds me, if you look in, the emergency safes.
You didn't.
I needed, some money.
For what?
Well, being at sea, I needed to get a ring for water breathing.
So, like, rubs the temples at that.
To be fair, it was only like it was 100 or so gold. Only.
She takes out
As if that isn't a crazy amount of money.
She takes out a different notebook and just sort of like flips it open, writes in it, closes it. I'll be sure to be aware of that the next time you ask me for any more money.
I suppose that means I don't have an outstanding balance on my allowance.
You won't have an allowance. You're a grown-up girl.
Mev.
You're a grown-up girl now, which means you're able to do what you want to do, including, taps the book, accruing debts that need to be paid back.
Shit. Mev. Oh yeah, no, that looks like it has an entire. It did not occur to Mev until she said that. She's not wrong, but also fuck. Did you I'll pay you back.
You will indeed.
Does it mean that I don't just for reference, because I didn't know that when I dipped into it, does that mean I don't have access to the emergency funds anymore?
You can't use the emergency fund to pay off your debt. No. What kind of sense would that make? If you want to pull from the fund, you'd have to make a good case. If you want to pull from the fund to pay off this debt, absolutely not. You have to work for that.
I think, I can't swim, okay? I can't swim. I think that this was an appropriate use.
It was, but you still stole from me, Mevalre.
Technically steal. You said that if I really needed it, that I could, and I really needed it. I didn't. I'm going to pay you back, but I'm just saying, okay?
You can say all you want. It doesn't change the fact.
Yes, ma'am.
And just because you're my daughter, I'll make sure not to put interest on it. At least, not for a while. If you start yanking my chain, I might just change my mind.
No, who's yanking anyone's chain? No, not really.
Would you like me to keep your stuff in the lockbox, or should I arrange for them to be taken to your room again?
I think I like my stuff.
All right. I'll make sure that they're back before the end of the night. End of the day,
Thank
even.
you.
The wine's really kicking in. Whew.
I'm just calculating in her head, like, how she's gonna pay her mom back.
Don't worry about it now. More important things to deal with.
She starts to get up. She starts to head to the door. To be fair, I personally feel like, if this succeeds and I basically stop a huge potential war for our people, I feel like I should be given a little leeway, a little credit. Just
She's just looking at you, almost like she sees you sort of digging downwards and is just watching.
She, yeah, Mev's like walking backwards to the door. She's clearly fucking with her mom. She like has like her hand on the knob. You know, I think I don't know. I feel like I deserve a lot of credit. Maybe people should give me my own ship. You know, yeah. She opens the door. I'm just saying, Mama. We're talking about debts. I think if this goes off, people are gonna owe me a lot of favors. And she fucking darts out the door.
You hear no response from Camilla. She doesn't chase. The last thing you saw, the last thing you saw was just with that somewhat sly smile looking at you.
Oh my god. Obviously Camilla is this is a lot more in line with her behavior. With Mev's behavior when she was around the nymphs and Camilla. She was constantly just saying stupid shit and doing stupid shit.
Yep. As I say, she's just watching you dig that hole.
Yep. And Mev definitely knows it. She can't fucking help herself.
Mm-hmm.
But she runs on, and she, before she goes anywhere else, she stops down the hall and just like collects herself. She thought that was pretty funny, but having that vibe doesn't feel entirely appropriate right now, like with everyone else. She just like fixes herself up, gets the energy out of her, and I want to find Chitter and Lulu.
Okay. So, do you go looking in their rooms? Like, where specifically are you looking?
I do want to check our rooms first.
Okay. So you check your room first and foremost. You can see that there is some signs of damage. There's like the odd wooden plank that doesn't match with the rest of the room, and you can see there are still a few like chunks of wood on the ground, and some stuff has been cleared away to the side.
Is it barren? Are like all of my paintings and fabrics and everything still there, or
a small amount of them are missing.
Okay.
The bit that got repaired is completely barren.
Okay,
but you can see like
I imagine Mev's room is very, very painted.
Yeah. So
okay,
like,
so it's just like a wood wall now.
Yeah. Somewhat haphazardly as well. Yeah, and everything else is sort of, if it's not in the lockbox that Camilla has, it's sort of just been sort of pushed into the other areas, or it's just not there whatsoever.
Okay. Yep.
And you sort of, beyond that, you sort of check Lulu's room next, since it's next to yours.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like walk in, or?
I'm going to just peek in to see if anyone's there.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Poke my head in. Oh god. 18.
Okay. Sort of look around. Seems empty. You sort of
Okay.
uh, go back out into the hall. And you sort of poke your head through Chitter's room.
Yeah.
If you make an active look around, then make a perception check.
I'm scared now because I know. 14.
Okay. Chitter's room's definitely a bit messier. But doesn't like she's there. You do recall she was above deck.
Yeah.
Might still be there.
Did I see Lulu above deck?
Nope.
Okay, no, that fucking scares me. Mev like peeks into Chitter's room, doesn't see anyone, and she in kind of this weird display of paranoia, just like whips around just to see. I'm guessing no one's there.
You turn around to see a pale woman standing in front of you.
No, Mev fully fucking expected that, and she still jumps. Fuck. God damn it.
I'm sorry, Mev.
No, fuck. Lou, what the fuck? Oh.
I mean, I saw you poke your head into my room, and then you saw.
You were there.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Jesus, how do you do that?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So there is in front of Mev, there is this there is this girl that is actually maybe a head shorter than Mev, which is impressive because Mev's already short. She's incredibly thin framed. And she has like this pure porcelain white skin. With hair just, does she have it pulled back or is it draped right now? It's draped. There is this hair that is just, it is pin straight. It is so long down her, and it's covering her face a little bit, kind of almost grudge-like, and peering from this curtain of white hair are these disturbingly large, pure black eyes. She gives the appearance of just essentially a really, really creepy looking elven doll come to life. Mev just takes a breath, trying to recover from this. And she looks at Lucinda. I don't know how the fuck you do it. She takes a hair tie from her bag and she goes to Lucinda. Come on, turn around.
She slowly turns around.
Yeah. Mev takes her hair very gently and pulls it like out of her face. She ties it up. What are you doing with your hair like this? Come on. How can you even fucking see like that?
You get used to it.
What? Has Chit not been doing your hair?
We've been a bit busy with everything that's been happening with the ship.
Right. Mev just tries to like smooth all of it out. How have you been?
Been missing you.
Oh, Boo. She like hugs her tight from behind. I've missed you too.
It's been a lot quieter.
Is that so?
I mean, you're one of the louder ones out of us all.
And what's that got to do with it? She smiles.
Well, it's not like me and Cheddar can speak up much.
Yeah. Mev nods because like Lou has trouble speaking in the first place, and Chitter can't speak. So, yeah. She stands up straight. She turns Lou to face her. No one's been picking on you, right?
No. No. Zora's made sure of that. Sort of like pulls you into a hug.
And Mev hugs her again really tight.
Where have you been?
I've um I've been kind of all over Karmora. I was up north by the Narch, and I've been kind of making my way back down south ever since. Um, it's a really long story, you know. I just got done explaining everything to Mama.
What did Mama think of it?
She thought I did well for myself. She's not happy with me, but you know.
I mean, I'm happy. If she was impressed, then he must have done a lot of good things.
Maybe, but I know I left very suddenly, and I'm sorry. And if you're mad at me, you can say so. I get it.
Should I be mad at you?
She thinks about it. With any other person, there would be probably a different answer, but Mev says, I mean, yeah, I think you should be super mad at me. We're a team, and I shouldn't have left my team.
I don't know if I could be mad at you, but I can try. She just sort of gives you like a very light thump on your back as she's still hugging you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You shouldn't have done that. No, I can't be mad.
Mev just hugs her tighter. Oh my god. Oh, Lou, you're such a fucking angel.
She finally lets go of you. You can see that her eyes, there's tears
Mm-hmm.
running down them, but she's got a smile on her face in regards to it.
Yeah, Mev takes out a cloth and like just cleans up her face. You you want to go find Chitter with me? I'm sure that she probably is going to she's gonna.
I don't think I've ever seen someone yell in sign language.
You know what I mean.
I know. Be funny if she found a way, though.
Just wait. I'm going to probably give her ammo.
Oh, speaking of, Camilla had me try using a firearm while you were gone.
Oh, and how'd you do?
I mean, I was able to hit the target, but I don't like it. It's too noisy.
Maybe we can find some way to make it quieter, like you.
I mean, Mama said that the bow's fine if I don't like the firearm.
Either way, you should keep it up. I mean, I'm assuming that you're as good with the firearm as you are with a bow.
Give or take.
Come on, don't be modest. She pulls her along. I've seen you shoot. You could fucking shoot the man in the neck 5 miles away.
I mean, I don't know about that.
I do. Are you questioning me?
Kind of, yeah.
Damn. I've been gone for 9 months and Miss Lucinda has found the guts to question me.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm teasing you. Don't worry, it's a good thing.
I don't know how far 5 miles is, so Chitter's been trying to teach me, but it's difficult.
I admit it's probably an exaggeration on my part. I don't think they have weapons that go that far. She thinks about this. Maybe in Naza or Jurahan. They've got a bunch of crazy shit. Yeah, Mev goes to find Chitter.
Okay. The top deck is now a little bit more crowded. It looks like some of the crew from the Stab Rat are now actively helping. Though it is only a small amount.
Yeah.
But you sort of go looking around. Thankfully, Chitter is easy to spot, given how she looks.
Yeah, she's incredibly easy.
Yeah. You can see that she's sort of signing to one of the crew. Obviously, because it's site-based. You can see that she's just sort of telling this person to go keep watch.
Yeah.
She sort of turn around. She sort of looks at you, and for the sake of my own voice, I'm just going to keep it as neutral. But you know, various voices being what Chitter is.
Yeah.
Chitter just looks at you and says, "Oh, look who it is!"
Hi, Chitter.
Goes back to signing. Just says, It's just like, you have a lot of nerve just randomly appearing on Von Ren's ship like that.
Mev signs back while speaking. I'm nothing but nerve. What do you expect?
Literally anything other than this.
I don't know. I think it's pretty fitting for me.
Pretty fitting to make us all worry. Do you know how many days I had spent looking for the various routes you might have gone?
I imagine quite a lot.
You're damned right. Don't get me wrong. Ecstatic that you're back and safe. That's the most important part. But did you really have to make me work so hard to try and find you?
Technically, I didn't make you work. You had a choice whether to look for me or not. It looks like Mev knows that this argument is fucking bullshit on her end.
Oh yes, let me just turn around to Camilla and say, sorry, Captain, I just don't feel like finding your daughter. I'm sure that would have went well for me.
Are you saying that you didn't want to find me?
The fact that I spent many days trying to find you, both under Camilla's orders and because I wanted to, speaks volumes as to how wrong that question is.
I'm sorry.
The second that comes out of your mouth, she lunges forward and just hugs you.
Oh my god. Yeah, Mev reaches down and hugs her.
She says verbally, it's okay. I forgive you. Just squeezed you a bit tighter before stepping back.
Any chance you'll be free?
So it looks around, says, probably by the evening.
You, Lou, and I can, we could hang out in one of our rooms. Can tell you what I've been up to. I'm sure that we can get a drink around here.
If not, I can probably sneak something. Oh, Lulu can.
Yeah, Mev immediately looks at Lou.
I mean, will Zora be fine with that? Chitter signs. I'm sure she'll be fine with it. I mean, it's not like we're going after Alfie or Ganaf.
Yeah, and besides, what she doesn't know won't even hurt her, right?
Funny you say that.
Yeah.
Best hear it from her, not me. Nothing serious, but just funny you mention it.
Oh no, I already know I'm kind of up shit's creek.
It's nothing
There's a
to
lot to
do with
prove.
you. You'll be fine.
Okay. Does that mean I should go see her then?
If you want.
Mev looks at Lou. I talk to her. You snack something?
Okay.
Poor Lucinda. Holy shit. Yeah, Mev. I guess she's gonna go find fucking Zora.
Yeah, before you leave, Cho says, looks like you'll be without me on this one. Got too much stuff to deal with here, so I can't be an extra distraction. You'll be fine. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Do your work.
Alright. So you head down towards the kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of open it. She has her back to you, but it is unmistakably Zora.
Oh yeah. Zora is this very very big, very muscular, like both fat and muscular orcish woman. Not half orc, but like straight orcish. And her skin is like this kind of like bluish green dark tint. And though we can't see her face, it's a like she's got tusks that are like thick and huge like a boar. She's completely bald. And her eyes are a beady black. Yeah, Mev lets Lou walk away first so that she can pull her little disappearing act that she does.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mev knocks on the wood.
Just a minute. Places whatever it is that she's walking down, just turns around, just freezes as she sees you.
Hi.
There is a blur of movement that an outsider would not expect someone that size to move that quickly, but
Yeah.
very quickly you are picked up in a bear hug. As there is just sort of hugging you. It's like,
Zora.
oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just to like place you down and pulls you into a much lighter hug.
Oh, hello. You hurt.
Oh, Mevalre, are you okay? Where have you been? Did anything bad happen? Did you eat well? Do you need me to get you anything? Just pulls you into the hug a third time.
Oh my god. I'm okay. I've been
You
eating.
sure?
Okay. I'm good.
He doesn't let you go still.
Oh my god. Yeah, Mev lets her crush her, I guess.
She holds you like for a full minute before she just eventually like just gently pushes you back. Stand up.
Hello.
Hi. What are you doing here?
Chitter said that I should see you. She didn't exactly say why.
Nothing at all? No.
No, she just said I should come see you. And I was like, yeah, I mean I'm going to have to go see everyone, but you know.
I'm not sure what. Is this what I think it is? So in regards to about any, I guess she would say, funny stories that happened.
Mev raises a brow. What happened?
What happened is some scumbags sold us bad meat. It was a few months ago.
Alright.
A bunch of people got food poisoning.
It's weird that that got by you.
I think the person was a mage, good with his tongue. And not in the fun way either. No, he convinced us that the food was good, and then turns out when we had eaten, there was a lot of stuff going overboard after that. Got back of him though. Bassett
Really?
ain't- Yeah. Bassett ain't gonna be talking again.
What do you look like?
See, this is the thing. He looked like a typical seller, clothes a bit ragged and a bit worn. But he had wares, and the foods that he gave us were fine.
What are you doing back
Hmm.
there?
But Althea did say that she'd never seen that salesman before. I think he was a scam artist.
Mev finds this anecdote just very strange. Because, like, obviously the nymphs have people that they, that they get supplies from pretty consistently. So for them to just pick, like, a random new person is strange. This is very strange. I mean, that's really fucking unfortunate. I'm more baffled that that happened in the first place.
We came into dock at a really awkward time, so our suppliers weren't there. Or what
Where'd you
supplies
dock at?
Portmore.
Have we been to Portmore?
Within the campaign, no.
Okay.
Outside the campaign, yes. It is a place that Moans do dock at, though it's usually for like a quick resupply, given it's the home port of the Third Fleet when they're not currently sailing around.
So they got like in and out.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Mev nods. Can I see Lulu?
Make a perception check.
For fuck's sake. Perception. 17.
Just about meet it. You do sort of see it at the very corner of your eye. It's surprisingly difficult, but you do see sort of like a bit of fabric from her clothes sort of just go around the corner.
Okay. So I'm guessing she hasn't secured it yet.
Yeah, so we bought the supplies in Port Mar. People got food poisoning. Docked at Port Honor to get rid of it and do that. And look who we found there. The same bastard.
Guy's not very smart, is he?
To be honest, we never told him where we were heading. He probably thought he could maybe scam more people out in Port Honor.
I was just in Port Honor. I didn't hear anything about the merchant, I don't know, mysteriously disappearing.
Oh, he didn't disappear. Well, I suppose he did. I didn't kill him.
You just cut out his tongue.
Didn't do that either.
What did you do?
I held him by the throat until he was unconscious and also got the message that he's to not do this to us ever again?
I don't think that will exactly stop him from scamming people. Just stop him from scamming you.
I made clear that if he does that to a friend of mine, I will cut his tongue out. So maybe that'll be enough.
Scary. I'm guessing that the crew's been giving you shit.
Was it? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Mev said, scary. I'm guessing that the crew's been giving you shit.
They've been giving me shit simply because we're running a little low on supplies.
Yeah, Mev nods. Potentially, got a druid on board one of the ships. Might be able to at least increase the plant yield here.
I did hear that we've got 2 ships with us. Might see if maybe I can moosh some of their supplies.
Careful, you know how Mama feels about that.
What she knows won't kill her. Besides, I think she'll enjoy a hearty meal.
Yeah, Mev nods. Sounds like it just sounds like everything that Mev's learning, like the nymphs have been like really fucked over right now. Fuck. I'm sure Althea's been having a fucking time.
Oh, well, right now she is beside herself because of the state of the ship.
With glee, obviously, right?
No, absolutely not. I'm pretty sure there's been a few times where she's just screamed into the night because things haven't been going her way.
How are her and Mama?
Same as always.
No new developments?
I keep hoping that there is, but no.
Mev like kiss a little bit. I wonder why. I mean, Mama's usually more aggressive.
I don't know, if I'm honest with you.
Mev shrugs. Like, she could theorize, but I think Mev's probably gonna bother Althea about it later. But she shrugs.
You sort of spot a bit of movement in the corner of your eye and sort of like looking, see that Lulu's now sort of basically next to you.
Yep. Well, I hope she's not directly next to me because Zura's looking at me, but...
No, not directly, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll only know if I go bother her, so...
Try not to wind her up too much right now.
I just want to know why she hasn't been committed to my mother. Okay?
Okay, but if you do start winding her up, please stop. She's... As much as we joke, this is stressful for her. Her and Gnaf.
Alright, I'll be on my best behavior.
That's not very comforting coming from you, Mevalre.
What do you mean? I have always been the pinnacle of well-mannered.
You and I both know that's a whole load of bullshit. Just go on, go on. He
All
just sort
right.
of turns around and goes back to whatever it was that she was doing.
Mev turns to leave. She glances at Lou. She signs, "You got it?"
She gives a thumbs up.
All right, awesome. Yep. Mev heads out.
All right. You both head out. As you get a little bit away, Lulu sort of like pulls from under her clothes a bottle of what looks like spiced rum.
Fantastic. Great job, Lou.
We should put it in your bag. Gonna look really weird if I've got like a bottle shaped bulge coming through my clothes.
Mev opens up her bag for Lou to just like drop it in.
Yeah, she places it in.
This is completely like, you can tell that these are just fucking asshole teenagers. She is going to go she's gonna go to her room with Lou if no one else like accosts them.
Make a perception check for me.
Fuck. All right. 9.
You don't see anyone that seems to get your attention. Don't hear anything that, would get your attention either. You just head straight to your room.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go to my room. Has my stuff been returned?
It's not unpacked, but there is a lockbox there.
Okay. I'm assuming that it's not locked. I can just open it.
No, it opens up as you just lift it.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna look through that stuff. Is there anything here that is I guess like possibly damaged?
You see a few of the like the framed pictures that you have. The frames are broke.
Okay.
A handful of them there is sign of water damage, but it's not a huge amount. You sort of look at it and then look at the damaged wall and sort of mentally picture where they probably were when the damage was done.
Okay. All right, yeah. Mev is gonna take the time to just like sort through her stuff. Any she starts to like put a couple of things back, but a lot of it stays in the lockbox. She is going to she's gonna put any jewelry and her at least one of her notebooks in her bag.
Okay.
She's also probably gonna grab a couple of her clothes.
Alrighty.
Obviously Lou's just kind of watching her do this.
Yeah, she's kind of just standing sort of a little to the side in the corner, just watching.
You can sit on the bed. I'm just grabbing a couple things. I mean, I kind of only had the clothes on my back. I've been kind of wearing the same shit for months. I'm fucking over these clothes.
I'm fine standing here. I'm not, just in case I need to move or anything. I'll stand here.
Lou, come on, sit.
Okay. Walks over to the bed and just sits down on it.
I feel so bad. Mev is gonna give her a drink. She's gonna sit on the bed with her. They're gonna probably just hang out, chat, wait for Chitter.
Okay. As you're sort of waiting, you hear like a knock at the door and then several like lighter taps.
Would I recognize this?
Yes.
Who?
Malbrin.
Fuck. Mev, Mev gestures for Lou to hide the rum. And Mev says, come in, Malbrin.
The door like swings open, not forcefully, but rather quickly.
Yep. Malbrin is this very wiry drow woman. Her skin is like this very deep bluish black with these bright purple eyes. And similar to Lou, her hair is a very very like kind of silvery spider silk gray that is in a fishtail. She looks like a normal drow until you account for the multiple sets of spider arms on her back.
So they were right. You are back.
Yeah. I don't know who told you, but they were correct.
They've been hearing it for all the crew. They've been saying about how Mevalre's returned. So like looks you up
Bunch
and
of gossips.
so I looks up and down. And I can already see here the odd change, and so looks at your wrist, the one that got wounded. Just sort of without saying anything, walks forward, just grabs the wrists and just looks at it.
I imagine there's a very, very clean scar there.
Yeah. Relatively thin, but yeah. She just sort of like looks at it, the spider legs so like start poking around the scar itself. So like observes you to see if there's any like pain reaction.
I think Mev definitely like winces, but it's not so much that she's not in pain from the injury. It's the fact that Malbrin is poking her.
Mm-hmm. It's the awkward kind, not the
Yeah.
What did this to you?
Late. It was a I wouldn't call it a bear trap, but it certainly was designed similarly. I stuck my hand in the dead man's strop.
Well, that's very stupid of you. Very stupid. Though, whatever blade they used was very effective, but also in a way a terrible idea for a trap. Very nice clean cut. Very easy to recover and heal if you reach a surgeon. If it had been worse... Just so like begins like moving your wrist around. No problems at all with movement. Looks like The scar will not be very noticeable, might even fade away if you're lucky. If not, can be masked with makeup, should be relatively easy.
Just tell me when you're done analyzing me.
I mean, if you're offering for me to check that you're okay fully.
Mev looks a little scared of.
You're right. More important things to do it right now. Just let's go of your hand.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for your concern.
I've been busy with people's concern.
You? Really?
Several people were wounded during the battle we had. Some didn't make it, so yes.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, Mev looks very embarrassed at that. She kind of cringes a little bit.
It's fine. Reuniting with everybody's probably had you a bit overwhelmed. Forgot a few points here and there.
Sorry. Fuck. You did you come here to see if it was true? Is that why you're here?
Yes, basically. Well, the last thing I want is to hear that you've came back and then you vanish again before I can say hello again.
Hello?
Hello. Have you met any of the other crew? I obviously can see that you've met Lulu.
I've talked to Mama, talked to Chitter, Zora. I saw Ganath, but I didn't speak to her.
I did check in on her. One of Von Ren's crew accidentally dropped one of the planks on his foot. She's about the mood you would expect given the state of the ship.
Absolutely fucking furious.
Okay, maybe less so. She is very annoyed and angry, but she was furious after the battle.
Ah, she's had time to cool.
A decent amount of time, yes. Couldn't find her for the first couple of days after.
Probably frantically trying to fix things.
That, and I think a few times she simply just did what she normally does to get herself some alone time.
Right. This battle, she just thinks about like everything that she has heard about it thus far. One thing strikes her as a little odd. How did you? I mean, it sounds like the Old Guard and Von Ren left beforehand. How the fuck did you guys get out of there?
Well, the battle itself was... I don't know how much you were told, but we were outgunned. It was the vanguard of the Third Fleet we had ran into. We did a lot of damage to two of their ships, and then Von Ren and Horace basically caused enough of a distraction for us all to slip away. We left roughly at the same time. Obviously, Horace being the slowest ship with the Old Guard was the last to leave.
Then, is there a reason why you didn't return to Mevalre? I thought that you were uh, leading the fleet elsewhere.
I'm not entirely sure on the details. I believe it was a case of Maelstrom and the Needle had taken too much damage to warrant a continuation of the mission. Camilla had told Von Wren to make sure that Horace got back while we went a separate route, just to avoid being followed.
Right. Yeah, she nods. Have you been told about what we're doing?
I've heard
What I'm doing here?
there's been word traveling around in the past few hours that we might not be returning to Mevalre immediately. We've heard a few bits from the crew of the Stabbed Rats, and a few musings here and there.
Right. Can I ask you a little bit of an odd question?
Of course.
You're technically from Jurahan, right?
I mean, it didn't exist when I was growing up, but yes.
Just, I know that you weren't there long after your She waves her hand, like trying to figure out to put
Awakening.
Yes, after your awakening. Are you familiar with Galero to any extent?
On the few years that I spent there before heading over here, I never actually visited it, but it was important for Jurhan. It's a city-state, mostly ruled over by gnomes. They're the inventors of Celestine, or at least how they're used.
Is there anything about Celestine that you are aware of that other people might not be?
My specialty wasn't in the manufacture of Celestine, but from my time in the we were shown how to operate it. Your methods of working with Celestine are comparable to ours, though you have to cut corners because there isn't enough of it compared to when we were around. Oh, well, you know what I mean.
She nods. Just, if you were to see something that used cells, would you know how to fuck with it?
Oftentimes, and that's one of the comparisons here where it's rather aligned. To fuck with with a Celestine item, you simply find the core and fuck with that. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, you find the power, because it's the power source, you can usually mess with it in various ways. In fact, it'd be easier for yours because with the corner cutting, it's not as reinforced.
Good to know. Okay. I can't say that I'm not going to have more questions for you, and I know that you don't really like to discuss these things. But if I do come with more questions, don't be surprised, and I would sincerely appreciate your unique perspective.
So long as it isn't mostly about my time in there, then I'd be happy to try to answer your questions.
Right. Thank you, Malbrin. I will keep you in mind. And I'm sure that Mama will be explaining things soon. So I hope you don't mind waiting a little bit.
I can keep myself busy for various things. We do still have a few wounded, so... And if what one of Von Ren's crew's just done, I imagine there's going to be a lot more that are going to arrive, saying about how they might have broken their poor little foot, or accidentally hammered their thumb and crushed it. That'll be fun
New
too.
victims for you.
Well, hopefully when I'm done with them, they'll be a lot more careful. You see a smile just appear on her face.
God. Yep. Mel, just not. She knows.
Right. Well, I will let the two of you get back to catching up. Just wanted to, as I say hello. And now, goodbye. She just quickly turns around and walks out using her spider leg to close the door behind her.
Mav grabs like the drink that she had. She takes a big swig of it. She looks at Lulu. I feel so fucking sorry for those people. Fuck.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we... the ones that said that they... the wounded ones, they're mostly fine. Some of them, aren't going to be able to help. The ones that died, some of them were buried at sea because that's what they asked. Others are, preserved for when we get back home.
Anyone I knew?
I don't think so. There might have been a few, but... I think...
Should pour one out nonetheless.
She takes drink and drinks as well.
Yeah.
Strong.
You'll get used to
Eh. She looks a bit like how a cat reacts when they smell something really bad.
it. Yeah. Poor Lou.
A few hours pass and eventually Chitta joins you.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of grabs a chair and just sits down.
I think Mev, because obviously like these two have questions. There's gonna be so much.
Yeah, and I am also conscious of time as well because we've been at this for a while.
Yeah, I think she is going to do the same thing of explaining her journey to them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, she doesn't say that like hers is a dragon or anything, but she's a little bit more honest about a crease.
Chitta sort of, at one point they makes a comment of, typical merchants, always in for themselves.
I thought that I don't know. He liked to pretend that he was good. And I thought that he was for a while.
I mean, you sure it wasn't just like a sort of misunderstood kind of deal? Nonsense, you heard what Mev said in regards to all this.
I think I don't fully know. And I think it's not my job to figure that out. He's got to do that for himself.
You make it sound like you're gonna see him again.
Is it bad that I kind of hope I do?
Well, I'd say that if I'm wrong, I'd eat my words, but
Mev smiles a little at that, takes another swig. I really liked him. Gods, I liked him.
I mean, maybe if you see him again, you can be friends?
Never know. Maybe. I think all of this is exceedingly hopeful, though. I'm not one to act like this. Don't know what's with me.
Unfortunately, that's a sign that you're growing up.
Is it? I mean, the sign of growing up is actually falling in love with two fucking pricks. Don't get me wrong, Havelock's a little better, but he's still a prick.
Yeah, and then you find the part where they're your prick. And then everything's all well and good.
Mev grins and says, "What a prick," and she like holds up her pinky.
I know what I said. I don't know. But I do genuinely hope that your two, I assume still friends at this point, get their act together.
I hope so too. She actually like grins thinking about something. On a lighter note, do you want to hear about our latest edition?
Go on.
Mev starts to talk about Arjun.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's the same high praise that she gave him with Camilla. Like, he's very smart, very confident, competent. She fucking goes into exceedingly graphic detail of how she's fucked this guy. She did not say this shit in front of Camilla. She is saying it in front of Jitter and Lulu.
You've never seen a Kenku smile, but you'd imagine that shit is doing the closest to it.
Yeah. Mev just keeps fucking talking. She's like, and I tried to like do my thing where you know how you're with a guy through the night and like you had your fun, everything's said and done, right?
Yeah.
So you get dressed, you get your shoes. You're not actually going to put them on because you don't want to wake him up. And like you're gonna go do your walk of shame, right? Right. This fucker pulled me back to bed like 4 fucking times. Eventually, I just gave up.
You don't say.
I was trying to leave, okay? The amount of stamina that this man has is insane.
Ah, well, you better get your game up then.
I don't need to get my game up. I kept up with him.
Okay. Then go from keeping up with him to beating him.
You're a fucking bitch.
I'm just saying, if you got the opportunity, why not take it?
I sincerely feel like, and I don't say this about a lot of guys, that might actually kill me.
Nah, you'd win. You're young.
Fucking good point. This guy's like a fucking geezer.
If he's as old as you say he is. Don't matter if he's got a lot of elf blood in him. You'd still outdo him.
Thank you for your words of encouragement.
Lulu's just there, like, as red as she can get.
Yep.
Like, she's sort of looking down at her knees in almost like semi-horror.
Oh my god. Just to fuck with her, Mev grins and says, "If you want, you can always join me."
You saying that to Lulu or Chitta?
Honestly, she'd extend the offer to both of them if he's into it.
I mean, if he's willing for a different experience, I wouldn't say no.
What have I gotten Arjun into? Fucking.
Lulu just says, I'm not too sure. Oh, come on. He won't kill you either. You never know. You might be better than all of us combined. If anything, she'd be able to do the walk of shame a bit easier. Lulu, like, actually, like, properly, like, hits Chitter on the arm at that.
Oh my god. She's right. You could run away at any point.
I don't want to be in this conversation anymore.
Mev will move the conversation on to just talking about the crew, about Von Ren. She will also mention that yes, she slept with him too at this point, but she does not go into the same detail unless asked.
The other thing is, Chitter speaks up and says, well, he was waiting for his opportunity. Glad to see he took it first chance he got.
Oh my god. Mev just says, "Don't tell mom."
If I know Von Ren well enough, he'll tell her himself. Maybe that'll be his last little kick of adrenaline that he wants.
His fucking funeral.
Yeah, well, who knows? Technically, his ship's faster than us, so...
She shrugs It'll be the first time I've gotten a boy killed.
Okay. So the three of you just sort of descend into small talk.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're getting pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point, Zora does sort of come by with some food.
I think at this point, because they've been drinking this bottle for a while now, they're fucking plastered. I don't imagine they're particularly subtle, but if you'd like, I could do a deception check.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage, alright, yep. Um, 10.
She sort of steps in with these plates of steaming food, just stops, looks down at the bottle that's sticking out. You haven't even been back a day.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know very well, Miss Mevalre Kathleen.
Are you going to add Katarina in there too?
Just places the plates down, walks over to you, takes the bottle and looks at it. Just looks back at you. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't tell your mother about this.
She tries to think. Her head's like clouded by the alcohol. Because it's my first day back and you missed me. And I'm so cute.
Just stares at you in silence and just walks off.
It doesn't look like that really sinks in for Mev. She looks at Chitter and Lulu and just starts laughing. Oh fuck. I'm going to be in so much fucking trouble.
Nah, we're gonna. It's funny because Chitter's actually hiccuping while trying to sign, and it's really drunk to the point where she just gives up and just starts, mimicking other people, using mimicry.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna get into trouble, and it's gonna be just like old times.
Mev just looks to Lou, and she goes, "Still miss me?"
Yeah.
Fuck. Mev is going to just faceplant on her bed.
Okay, I guess I'll eat all the food then.
No, wait. Give me some.
Alright. Stumbles over, handing you the plate.
Fucking, what is it?
So it's definitely not like traditional like Moen food. You can tell that Zora
Yeah,
wasn't
because they're
kidding.
low on supplies.
Yeah. Like there is like a small like bowl of curry, but for the most part, it's your typical like steamed vegetables and cooked meats. It just has as a little side dish of curry to sort of dip in.
Yep. She takes like the little like piece of bread that you're supposed to scoop the stuff in. She just starts eating it. She's too fucking plastered for this.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you continue to eat, I know that you said like, yeah, there's a lot of people to talk to, but I'm nearly out of time, so we might have to call this mini session good.
I figured, yep. And I mean, I kind of expected because there's so many fucking people to talk to.
I mean, to be fair, we got about half of them done.
Yep.
And necessarily the others might not have a whole lot to talk to that can easily be squeezed into the next session, which obviously isn't this week because work schedules are a bitch sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll call it good.